Welcome back to the railroad, everyone. Today we've got more solar to work on. Okay, so the first light project I want to do today are these LED flame lights. These, when you look inside, you'll see that these are just LEDs. We're going to take one of these apart and we're going to put it inside of a lantern. Oh yes, I forgot. You can find these on the internet. I got these off of Amazon. They were about $5, just a little over $5 a piece. This is a 4-light set. Let's get started. So here is a nice little light that we're going to use. This was an IKEA light. The only problem is we don't want these holes. These actually stars are popped all the way through. So we don't want these holes because that'll let rain come in and soak our electric panel inside. So these are cool little lights. And what you need is a screwdriver, and you get in and pop the top off. And you see all of these LEDs and the electronics that are inside here. Then you pop the bottom off with the same little screwdriver, and you can cut the 2 wires that go to the electric. Now you want to get rid of this, and you don't want to use these wires because these require 110 volts to be fed in. You're going to look around the edges here, and you're going to see one of these that has a plus sign on it. That's your positive. There's 2 others here, one here and one over here. If you look at the base where the cylinder has been soldered on, you can see where you will need to test to find out which is positive and which is negative. Here are a couple of close-ups so you get a better idea. Where the wires have been soldered in. You'll test those until you find which of the 2 wires are your positive and negative that will operate this. Now, this runs on between 5 and 6 volts DC. So, and it doesn't take very much power. It's a very low power unit. But when we get this wired, put the cap back on it, we'll set it inside something like one of these. I've got a little bigger one here that I'm going to use, a red one. And now to keep the 12 volts, 12 to 14 volts that we have on our car battery down to the voltage for this, we're going to use one of these. This is a voltage regulator. This will take up to 40 volts DC on the input side, and by adjusting it down, you can bring it down to anywhere from around 4 volts. This looks like the positive lead, so I'm going to put a positive here. Let's see if that really is the positive lead or not. So I've gotten 4 1.5-volt batteries, so that should be about 5.5 to 6 volts in there. Just take a quick look and see. 6.1 volt. This lead looks like the positive lead. What about this one? Hey. Okay, so the lead we want is right here. So we're going to mark that one with a negative right here. I know I've got about, let's see, we have 8.6 volts in the battery right now. It's pretty low. Now I brought this down to 1.1 volts just by screwing this out. So we bring this back up. So there's 2.5, 3.5, 4, 5, 6, 5.5, 5.4 volts, and we're getting some lights operating. And 6 volts is a little strong, so I'd say 5.7 volts seems to do really good with this. Now what we have to do is take this out, hook it up to the actual battery that's going to be operating this, and make sure this voltage is down around 5.7 volts. Then we can cap this off, put everything together, and have another light out there. Okay, so here's where we adjust our little DC unit to make sure that all we have is the right voltage for this. Okay, so I'm going to plug this in Take my screen off. Oh, perfect. Okay, our adjustment is at 5.7. And we have 14.1 volts coming in. All right, now we'll go back to the shop and we'll put all this together in one of the lights. So today's mission, should we decide to accept it, is to put this new light that we've come up with in either the red one or the white one. I'd like to have it in the white one, just because it's newer, but I may not have room enough to get this through the door once the cap is on. This one has a much bigger door. So let's see what we can do. First thing is we need to put the cap on and do this without breaking the wires. There, okay, that's on. Now I'm going to try this just to see if I can make this fit, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. No, it's just that 1/4 of an inch too big. So the white one we'll do something else with. The red one will be the one that receives this, and it'll sit just like that. However, I cannot let this board get wet. So I have sealed both the wires input here and the output with hot glue. Now we're going to use a Ziploc bag to contain all the wires. This little unit is going to go in the Ziploc bag to keep it from getting too very wet and having problems. And then we're going to hot glue that up inside. It'll be just like that. And actually, I don't even need to hot glue that. I just need to hot glue the wires coming up and down. Hot gluing is not one of my specialties. Of course, being a jack of all trades, not much is a specialty. It's all just done. Okay. All right. And there we have our light. Now, well, I already have a plug out there, so we're going to go plug this in, see what it looks like. So what do y'all think about that? It's a little better if I stand where it's shaded. And then of course we have this, which has 3 flaming lights. Okay, we'll come back tonight when we have some darkness to see these lights. So here we are looking at the new lights. Here is our new light with the flaming, with the candles in it. And here's our other lantern, and then of course our string of Christmas lights, all run from the solar panels. So here's a little closer picture of our flaming light, the lantern, and then of course all of the Christmas lights. And in the background, of course, that's a 110 volt powered star. And dogs in the background. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. I think it's time to go run some trains. Come on. like those boxcars? Yeah. Some of them came out good, some didn't. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. Until next time, be safe, stay healthy. We'll see you down the rails, and God bless.